Some awards.
At this time, I would take the opportunity to thank everyone in the community for your support of Elizabeth Board of Education and Elizabeth Public Schools. Through your support, we were able to, through your support and high quality teaching and learning that is placed in our schools, we were able to graduate 1,227 students from our 6 schools. And we definitely felt that it was a great experience to send our students off to their next chapter of their lives. I also wanted to just apologize to all of the fathers. At the last board meeting in June, I failed to acknowledge Father's Day, and I wanted to just say Happy Father's Day, and I hope that you guys enjoy your day with your children. You know, sometimes you don't have to be a father to also be able to influence someone and mentor someone, and be a father figure in someone else's life. So I really hope that you guys enjoy your day. And again, I apologize on behalf of myself and everyone on the Board of Education. So, happy Father's Day. Belated Father's Day. At this time, my microphone is open for public comment for those who have signed in prior to this session. I shall call individuals to the microphone based on the order of the sign-in sheet. Each statement made by a participant shall be limited to 3 minutes in duration. The total time of public comment shall be limited to 60 minutes. No individual is able to yield their time to another individual. All statements shall be corrected by the presiding officer. No participants may address or question a board member individually. The following rules for public participation shall apply. Time limits will be strictly enforced. No personal attacks on individuals. No vulgar or indecent language. A person may address the board no more than one time in one meeting. Speakers should refrain from naming individuals. Comments or questions posed on public participation will not be debated. As a reminder, this is a meeting of the board in public, not a meeting of the public. At this time, I'm going to call Mr. Greg Arcello, excuse me.
Hello. My name is Greg Arcello. I've been the offensive coordinator and the quarterbacks coach for the Elizabeth High School football team since the 2010 season, during which time we've had a considerable amount of success. I'd rather not be here right now. As we speak, a number of former Elizabeth High School football players are playing in Snappville, which is a high school all-star game at Woodbridge High School right now, and I'd much rather be there supporting them. But unfortunately, you know, sometimes you just have to do what's right rather than what is convenient. Unfortunately, I've been informed that there's a movement afoot to remove John Quinn from his position as head football coach, and I feel obligated as somebody who without question has a vested interest in what is best for his student athletes to give you several reasons why this would be a tremendous mistake. A few years ago, John Quinn was inducted into the New Jersey High School Football Coaches Hall of Fame, which is the highest honor that a high school football coach can receive in the state of New Jersey. And if this board were to remove a Hall of Fame coach, and one whose status was sealed, by the way, mainly by what he has achieved here in the last 6 years, and if you remove that person to replace him with somebody who's not nearly as qualified, and maybe perhaps even underqualified for the position, or somebody whose only differentiating asset is, let's say, that he was born in Elizabeth, okay, then prepare yourself for the reality that the quality of candidates that will apply for positions as coaches for Elizabeth varsity teams in the near future will be diminished exponentially because they will know that this could happen to them as well. So with one move, this board could seal the fate of Elizabeth High School athletes in a negative way for a decade or more, because who would ever want to apply for a position here knowing that that could happen to them? And even though there's plenty more that I would like to say, 3 minutes is a very short period of time, so I just want to close by saying that the players are clearly the most important thing here. Okay, and we've been practicing for over a month, as have most teams in the state, including many of our opponents. Do you have any idea how catastrophic it could be to replace the head football coach in the middle of July or August? I mean, if this were January, I'd have one less point here in my notes, I'd have to talk about something else, but it's July. Trying to replace the football staff, especially without sufficient cause at this time of year, this upheaval, will create such chaos that it will, without question, have a destructive effect on Team Unity. It will decrease their likelihood of success this year, and it will create tremors that will be felt well into the school year and throughout the Elizabeth athletic community. We are at a crucial juncture here. Okay? The head football job of Elizabeth High School is not a trophy that should be passed back and forth among friends and people who promise each other favors.
At this time, I'm going to call Ms. Betty Foley, please.
Good evening, Madam President, Superintendent Schumacher. I'm here again with my urban schools need libraries. Once again, I am here to ask you not to close and downsize our school libraries. I can't think of anything that would be more damaging to the development of young minds than the unavailability of real books that you hold in your hand, not that you read from a computer screen. As parents, grandparents, and guardians, we owe it to our children to speak up and speak out concerning the closing and downsizing of our traditional libraries. Urban schools, again, urban schools need libraries. I believe Elizabeth is still an urban school district. Every student deserves a well-funded library, staffed by a certified librarian. Again, I ask the question, how can you designate certain schools in Elizabeth as gifted and talented if you don't have a library? Just think about that. I can't wrap my brain around it. If we have talented children, gifted children, do they need a library? I think so. I have asked several questions and I never did get answers. One question I asked, I have a granddaughter who will be going into 3rd grade. I asked the question, what are they taught in technology in 3rd grade? Are they really taught, or are these students playing games on the computer? I want to know as a grandparent and as a former librarian, a retired librarian. Is Elizabeth still considered an avid district? I've asked this question several times. When I taught, when I was a school librarian, we were an avid district, and avid districts had to have a librarian. Okay, libraries throughout the district. Again, the question is, I want to know what my 3rd grade granddaughter will be taught next year when she has technology. Instead of visiting the library with traditional books, she will be sitting in front of a computer screen. And when I came to the board meeting 3-4 months ago, I did research on sitting at a computer and reading from the computer. It's eye strain, the learning is shallow. I've done a lot of research, and I think as board members, each and every one of you, you need to read up on this before you decide on downsizing and closing our school libraries. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Foley. At this time, we'll call Austin Roman.
I have been a part of the Elizabeth athletic program and teacher here since 2010. And I'm not here to talk about anybody negatively. I am here to talk about my friend and my mentor. In 1991, 92, and 93, the Union High School football team went 32 wins and 1 tie. And in those 3 years was the #1 team in New Jersey. They had an assistant coach. His name was John Quinn. In 1998, Roxbury High School won their first state championship in football. Their head coach was John Quinn. In 2003, at New Brunswick High School, which I worked at, their first state championship ever was head coached by John Quinn. And also in 2006, they won a state championship. And also in those years, they had 2 USA All-Americans. Also in those years, they had several athletes get full scholarships to college and others that played sports after high school. In 2012, Elizabeth High School won its first Group 5 state championship in the inaugural year and won 12 games, which is the most in school history for one season. Along with that, at New Brunswick, a Play It Smart program was provided for student athletes to get the help with grades and clearinghouse, which was implemented by John Quinn. Here at Elizabeth, a study hall program was provided for our student athletes to help with their grades so they can get scholarships as well. With John Quinn, it is not about just wins. It's about the people, and as you can see, I'm here for him, and there's others here for him. Elizabeth, when I'm telling you, you have a golden ticket. Do not throw it away. Those stars on that E is for excellence. Do not throw away excellence. John Quinn needs to and should be the head football coach of Elizabeth High School because he represents excellence. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have 2 letters, one from a student athlete and one from this. Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, I'm going to call Coach Ron B.
I know a lot of you don't recognize me because I'm wearing my pants, but I too am I'm in favor of Coach Quinn. I think I've been part of this program for the last 48 years as coach in Elizabeth. I'm teaching for 40 years, 41 years as a teacher in Elizabeth. This will be my 49th season as a coach. I represent a lot of young men, seen them go on to greatness, and I'm very proud of it. A couple of years ago, you had a coach here who sent his letter of resignation to the principal, to the superintendent, saying that the talent in Elizabeth was no longer there. They would never win another state championship at any sport at any level. John Quinn proved them wrong. They've gone 46 and 19 since he's been here. He's provided a place for the kids to be after school. He's provided counseling. I don't necessarily consider myself a coach's coach, but a student's coach. My whole aim in life has been to be an assistant coach and work with the athletes in Elizabeth with John Quinn. But on behalf of John Quinn, I think it is July 21st or 22nd, whatever it is a very good time of the year for you to replace someone who's been a valuable asset to our athletic program. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I'm going to call Lloyd Jackson.
Good evening, honorable board members. I am too here in support of Coach John Quinn. And in addition to everything that you heard about him, there's another dynamic I would like to share with you. My son Lloyd started playing football when he came to high school. He was part of that 2012 undefeated, untied state championship team, which was coached by John Quinn. Not only football is not just blocking and learning plays, but from the coaches, from his coaches, and from John Quinn, he got character traits that helped him in his study. Now he's in his first year of college. He's going on to bigger schools like Syracuse, Texas, Virginia, to ask him about him, and he got all those traits, and he got all that experience from his coaching staff and from Coach John Quinn. Now, I was shocked. I had to read the text twice when I heard that some or all of you were considering removing this man. I could see if he had a questionable record or a record where something was wrong, he had done something. But this man is a winner. This man is a winner. And you need to keep a coach like that. And then I want to ask you a part of this question. Because one other thing that I found a great deal of pride with living in Elizabeth is that our city is not like Newark. Our police are not like Newark police. Our government doesn't act like other governments. It operates with integrity, it operates with truth, it operates to do what's right. And I used to, up until this point, view the school board like that. So I say to you, and I say frankly, if you remove this man, a man that has ability, the man that has a winning record, and replace it with a man that has never coached a team before because you want to repay a political favor, then you're going to reduce the integrity of this school. Thank you.
At this time, I'm going to have Javier Smith.
Hello, everybody. My name is Javier Smith. I'm here on behalf of my son, who's going to be a senior this year. His name is John Hughes, and on behalf of Coach Quinn. Coach Quinn been coaching my son since the 9th grade. I got to know Coach Quinn. I have a personal relationship with him. He's just a team player. He's for the kids. My son came into the 9th grade doing absolutely nothing he was supposed to do. If it wasn't for Coach Quinn, the track coach, the coaching staff, my son wouldn't be standing home right now with 10 scholarship offers. They helped me push him and push him and push him. So, Coach Quinn, he's a good guy. When I got the call, I was getting plenty of calls about Coach Quinn. I had nothing bad to say about Coach Quinn. He haven't did anything to me. So, he's excellent. He's a good person. He do care about the kids' grades. He cares about everybody. He's an excellent and an awesome man. The whole coaching staff is. And my thing is, I'm here for the kids. What about the kids? It's going to affect the kids no matter how I go. This is about the kids. It's not about nothing else. I have nothing against anybody. My thing is my son and these other kids. I wish a lot of other parents would be up here speaking about their kids. First of all, John Quinn can't run a play. He can't play football for them. He can't take the SAT for them. He can't do no schoolwork for them. They have to do it themselves. The question is, why all of these kids is failing? Why they don't got no scholarships? It starts at home. You gotta do your schoolwork. I'm on my son constantly about doing his work. I'm paying for SAT classes so he can pass, so he can be eligible to go to school. So it's not about John Quinn, don't check your schoolwork, don't do this, he don't care about your grade. This right here, like, it's just unbelievable. This is Elizabeth. I never in my life been living here all my life and everything is just separated. What about these kids? Let's think about the kids. It's gonna affect these kids, no matter who the coach gonna be. Like, it's sad and it's disgusting, and I'm disgusted with it. Like I said, I'm here for my son, and I'm here for Coach Quinn, and
all the other kids and all the parents that couldn't be here. Coach John Quinn is an excellent coach. He has helped me. He has did nothing to me or my family. Like I said, my son is going into his senior year with 10 scholarship offers. Ain't nobody just giving me no scholarship because Coach Quinn said, get his boy a scholarship. He had to work hard on the field and everything. My son plays basketball, runs track, and football. He didn't just, Coach Quinn ain't do it. He didn't do nothing. He helped him. My son did it himself. It's about your grades. That's what we need for tutoring. We need for people coming out helping these kids. These kids got to get eligible. If you're not eligible, you can't go to college. I'm quite sure everybody in here went to college. You can't go without those grades. John Quinn ain't take no test for you.
Thank you. At this time, I'm going to call Seth Abdul Khalid.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Asad Abdul.
Can you hold on? Can you move his mic up, please? Thank you.
Well, my name is Asad Abdul. I'm a product of Elizabeth. I was raised in this city. I raised my kids in this city. I'm also a product of the Elizabeth High School football team. We won the state championship in 1998. It was also coached by Jamil Jackson. Also, I went on to the University of Minnesota, where I started position of quarterback for 4 years. When I was done graduating, I came back home and I coached at Elizabeth High School. Why? Because nobody teaches you at home like someone who understands your home. Once again, I raised my kids in this city, and nothing against Coach Quinn at all. But we continue to speak about the kids who are doing well. What about those who are not? Because I eat these kids. I see these kids in the street. I see these kids when they're playing regular basketball outside. I speak to them on the regular. I speak to their parents. I eat with them. So once again, we're talking about those who don't go on for whatever reason. And like I said, if you were leaving your home, you had to go on vacation, who would you call? Would you call someone that you don't know? Or would you call someone who you know is going to take care of your home exactly like you do? Coach Jackson is from the community. He's from my community. Once again, I was raised on the first two Magnolia all my life. Him and his family in the community, wonderful examples. There are countless student athletes who get nominated because of certain reasons. Once again, I have family on the football team now who talk to me and say, hey, I'm failing. All right, well, what's going on? Did you talk with your coach that? He didn't say anything about it. He called and asked how I was in the weight room. You get what I'm saying? So it's just small things when you look at the community. And like I said, Jamil Jackson is one from the community. And like I said, who else is better to take care of the community than someone from the community? Also, a qualified individual. I'm not speaking of someone who does not have the experience on either level, high school, college, education, everything. So once again, if you had to leave your home to anyone, who would you choose?
Thank you. At this time, we have Ms. Connie Thomas.
Good evening, board members. Constance Thomas. Once again, my son called me. He was supposed to be here this evening on behalf of Coach Quinn. He said, what I need you to do to ask why do political favors have to be paid for a job that Coach Quinn outright knows the game of football, knows what he's doing, and why do political favors has to be paid. And why Coach Quinn's job has to be on the line. This is all I have to say.
At this time, I'm going to call Jalil Brady.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Thanks for having this forum. I'm here in support of Jamil Jackson, DNA, the head varsity football coach for Elizabeth High School. Like some of the others have stated, he is a resident of Elizabeth. We played together football since we was 5, 6, 7 years old. We won championships together here in the city. I tell you, he was the gold standard on our team as far as academics, his integrity, his character, which carried over to his adulthood as a man. He's a family man, God-fearing man, and most of all, he cares a lot about this community. His resume is impeccable. This is supposed to be a country, city, state about giving people opportunities. He has to have an opportunity to become a head coach, so he has a wealth of experience. Matter of fact, a couple of the coaches that's on the staff now, he coached. So that's one thing. Another thing, you know, like I said, it's not knocking no person. It's just who we would like to see or think is best for the job. But you got the coach that was in place. He was also applying for other jobs in other districts. I think that kind of getting missed as well. So that's one thing, you know, when you start getting at this level that it's business for some people. Going to college, you go to a college or university, you don't go on to that coach, even though you can't build a rapport with him. But I definitely think that he would be a man for the job. He's connected to this community. He's invested in this community. He wants to see us grow good citizens from their childhood to adulthood, such a critical stage of their life in high school. And I think it would be a great thing to have a coach from Elizabeth be the coach. I said before, I don't think we ever have had that since like 1979 or 80. And I think that would be the perfect fit to have someone from Elizabeth, representing Elizabeth, one of the premier jobs in the state. Always winning championships. Let's not be remiss to say the talent here is the kids. I played with Coach Jerry Moore was here. Every coach since then has won a championship. That's a testament to the kids that we have here. Okay, that's the key. And someone I know that's going to have these kids' best interests at heart, not just the front runners, is Jamil Jackson. Thank you.
At this time, I'm going to have Tanisha Drake.
Hi, good evening. I'm Tanisha Drake. Thank you. Hi. Good evening. My name is Tanisha Drake. I'm here to support Coach Quinn. My son was on the football team. He played quarterback. His name was PJ Moore. He won the state championship in 2012, but my son worked his butt off to get to where he's at today. Coach Quinn helped him, yes, but he had to do what he had to do to get where he's at. Coach Quinn is a great guy. He was hands-on. I did my job. It was my job to raise my son. I didn't ask no one else to raise my son. I did that. He left for work. He left for school. He did what he had to do on the field and off the field to get where he's at. He's in Temple right now. He's on the full scholarship, yes, but he worked hard to get that. Coach Quinn helped him, yes, and the whole coaching staff. They did a great job. They were 1-9 before Coach Quinn got here. 1-9. His freshman year, they were 1-9. When Coach Quinn got here, they put in place the study hall. He did everything he had to do. He would graduate in December. A half a year early, he'll walk him back. So Coach Quinn did an excellent job for these kids. My son wasn't the only one he helped. He helped all the kids. Just as much as he helped mine, he helped the other ones. It was up to the kids to do what they have to do to get where they're at. I made sure Ryan did what he had to do to get where he's at. And he's still doing it. Coach Quinn is an awesome guy. He's an awesome coach for this program. I think he should be the head coach for Coach, I don't know, whatever. But Coach Quinn did what he had to do, and my son did what he had to do. We just hope that Coach Quinn can continue being the head coach.
At this time, we have Joe Peace up, please.
Last week, I was driving to school, and my cell phone went off. And it was Paul Davis, who's the director of pitching development for the St. Louis Cardinals. And he asked if he could pick my brain. And I said, well, my first reaction was Rutgers and Princeton are 50 minutes down the road. I said, let's give him a call. But he said, no. He says, can you talk? I said, sure. And the topic of conversation really wasn't about pitching or baseball. It was about athletic development and long-term athletic development. And it made me think, what is Elizabeth's long-term athletic development model in 2016? When I first came to Elizabeth in the mid-1980s, we definitely had an athletic development plan. It might have been some might have been by accident, but it was based on strong teaching. We had daily physical education, which we don't have anymore, but we had great teachers and we had great coaches. And I know they were great teachers because 3 of them went on to win the Governor's Teacher Award, and one of them won the J for Teacher of the Year. But our long-term athletic development, what I mean is, what is the process by which we identify our talent at a young age? How do we develop and nurture it? How do we make sure that it stays in Elizabeth? I saw the job postings that came out for the varsity coaches a few weeks ago, and the language is in there, deliver championships. And I asked you, what does that statement say about pedagogy? Tom Peters, the business consultant, he had a quote that I just read. It said, growth at all costs and excellence are antonyms. All right, so think about that. So no matter who we hire, we have to make sure that we're hiring great teachers. And what I want to make sure is that I'm in the twilight of my career right now, and I want to make sure that 25 years from now, that Olympic teams and professional baseball teams are going to be coming to Elizabeth to get answers to complex questions. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, we're going to have Dion Candia come up, please.
Good evening, board members. My name is Dion Candia. Actually, a Linden resident. I was head coach for Linden High School from 2008 to 2014. I'm here to just talk about my friend Jamil Jackson. I'm hearing a lot of things that people are saying, a lot of concerns. When I took over the Linden program, we were also 1-9. My first time head coach, I didn't know where to start. I'm from Linden, I believe in the kids of Linden, and I knew it was a disconnection. So that compelled me to take the job. When I took over, I looked and seen a lot of kids that were discouraged, a lot of kids that didn't have the leadership, a lot of people that didn't have people that were standing by them. In and out. We had coaches come in, different people say different things, but it was nothing like being there and seeing the kids' faces after these coaches left. When I started the program, I asked my superintendent, could I hire people that are going to care about the kids, that are going to care about the community? If I take over, I want the support that I need in order to not only coach, but to be a mentor. Now, I have a lot of friends in Linden that graduated, a lot of people that were from different places. I wanted the best people. One of the people I sought after was a winner, was a person that was about community, was about kids, and that man was Jamil Jackson. Now I'm from Linden, we're rivals, but I wanted what was best for the kids. And I knew how Jamil was, I knew Jamil from a long time ago, and I knew his pedigree and what he stands for. Now, it was tough when Jamil came on staff because he wanted to do everything the Elizabeth way. And we had differences. But I knew deep down inside he was a guy for the job. And of course, I took criticism because I'm taking a 1-9 team and I'm hiring the riders. But after a while, people started seeing how Jamil dealt with the kids, how he was, his heart, his passion. And he didn't make it in Elizabeth in. He made it the kids did. And I understand the concerns that people have, because I had those concerns too. A 1-9 team, and I just got different people that no one knew. And of course, we're all familiar with the people that win a lot, that are from different places, that have these big resumes. But one thing that we forget is the heart of someone that has passion for people and kids who are just like them. And that was me. So going forward, Jamil has developed relationships with kids, not just in Elizabeth, but even my kids in Linda who are in college, and they still call him Coach Jackson, and they ask for his advice. I don't have to be here, and I know this is like, why is he here? But I know a good person, and I know a good coach, and I like to speak up for those people. So,
Thank you.
Jamil Jackson is a good person.
At this time, I'm going to call Maria Medeiros.
Good evening. I came here to talk about the library situation, but after hearing all these parents talk, when everybody up here was running, wasn't there one team, one dream? Didn't you promise that parents came back, you would listen? But you have a whole bunch of parents that are urging you to keep this Coach Quinn. I personally don't know him, but I'm hearing how much he's inspired the children and his parents. Remember, you have promised that the old board was not going to be here. But you are acting like the old board if it's a political reason. Now, if Mr. Quinn decides to leave or he gets tossed out by you guys, then give it to Mr. Jackson. He's from Elizabeth. He's a product from Elizabeth. That's all I'm saying is give that. You said that you were going to listen to parents. If parents came back, well, you got parents. And you can't blame teachers if our kids fail. My kids didn't graduate. I can't blame the teacher. My kids decided that they didn't want to finish school. They went back to finish school because they knew it was important. But I couldn't blame an educator for a child's decision. And it wasn't like I wasn't a fierce mom because my kids used to get hit when they didn't go to school. Education is important. Now also with the libraries, you need to bring back the libraries. Because on July 4th, I asked my grandson what did he want to do. And he told me, I want to learn about George Washington from a 7-year-old. I took him to Morristown, to George Washington's museum. I took him to Steve Vale's home, and the Acorn House, where he learned. And I asked him, don't you read this? He said, no, we just read it on a computer. So me, I went on the computer. You don't learn history. You don't learn history the way we learn. Because back in my days, we didn't have computers, we had to read. But if you look in the computers, it doesn't tell the full story of our history. We should have the libraries back. These kids should be able to know what the real history was. And it is important. And for my 7-year-old to tell me that, he has to read from a computer and there's no knowledge of it, and he's going to get knowledge from the library in the school, why not leave some libraries in? If you can't give it to all the schools, just like the lady said, our education started by reading. We didn't have these fancy technology. We didn't have all these phone gadgets and things like that. We had to read. We had to know our history. Thank you. Thank you.
At this time, I'm going to call Maria Lorenz.
Good evening. I wanted to talk tonight about two things that this board stated that they were going to do: change and transparency. I've done some research on graduation rates and dropout rates. I compared this to Newark, and although a much larger district, double the schools, and 2,053 more students, yet our graduation rate is only 1.43% less than Newark. Why is that? In an average calculation of graduation rates for the past 4 years, Hamilton came in at 94%, beating Elizabeth High School by 2%. Our lowest graduating schools is Jefferson Arts, with a tie between Zawire and Hove. District-wide, we graduate about 70% of our students. That's only 1% lower than Newark. So now let's focus on the dropout rate and what makes up those 30% that are not graduating. In the last 4 years on average, those in grade 9 were the highest dropout for 2014 and 2015 school year. 107 kids, followed by 11, 10, and 12. This year was the biggest dropout rate in the last 4 years. The population affected, 72% Hispanic, male and females, 23% Black, male and females. In special education, a total of 56 kids dropped out, and they were also Black and Hispanic. With these alarming statistics, why has the dropout committee, chaired by Mr. Rodriguez, members by Goncalves and Trujillo, not met since February 2016? Is this not an important issue that shows cause for grave concern to you? The excuse of being on the board for a short time is no longer an acceptable rhetoric. To the parents of those that attend Halsey, Dwyer, and Jefferson, much less the Hispanic and Black community who is dropping out in triple digits by the 9th grade. I know I mentioned committee meetings tonight, and in an effort of transparency, I would like Madam President to commit to publishing the committee meeting dates, times, and location of all 10 of your committees. It is my understanding that there is no policy that prohibits the public from attending these meetings. The Open Public Meetings Act establishes the right of all citizens to attend meetings at which any business affecting the public is discussed or acted. This includes committees that are part of the decision-making process where actions, although advisory, are made to the board as a whole where final action may be taken. Madam President, can I have your commitment to transparency tonight that you will publish the meeting dates and locations, that you will allow for the community that elected you to participate and provide you with feedback in these 10 committee meetings? Madam President. No response?
I'm not going to go back.
Members of the public, and this is what your feedback means to this new board. Have a great evening.
Thank you. At this time, I'm going to call Keith Price.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for holding me up. My name is Steve Price. I know I'm here on behalf of Mr. Jamil Jackson. I've known Mr. Jackson for 20 years. We met in 1990 as I was coming in as a student athlete for Rutgers football. And since that day, I, not just as a friend, as a team, I'm his friend, as a brother in arms, on the field and off the field. I've seen Mr. Jackson on the field be a leader, off the field be a leader. Even when I wasn't going well, he would come back and get me. I'm a product of Jersey City public schools. I'm also a high school athletic director at Abraham Lincoln High School. So I understand what he's going through as somebody that's applying for a job. When I look at the criteria as a coach, I've been doing it for 6 years right now. And from what I heard about the coach now, it's great, but with Mr. Jackson, with his leadership, like I said before, on and off the field, he has guided guys tremendously. I'm not going to sit here and repeat the what some of the other guys said. I've seen it firsthand on the field and off the field. He has even helped myself as an athletic member. I would still call Jamil to this day at any point in time. Hey, Jamil, what do you think about this? And about certain situations. And his leadership has always been on point. When we talk about football and life, we always talk about, okay, I learned it from Elizabeth. I love Elizabeth. He leads Elizabeth. No matter where he's coaching, he does a great job, no matter where he's at. But this is home. I'm from Jersey City. I'm a public. I was ecstatic when I got a job as an athletic director there because I wanted to give back to my community. And that's the exact same thing that Mr. Jackson does. Not just football. He will be he's in the community. He sits and talks to kids. I've seen it firsthand about life and their goals. He's a perfect example of a person from Elizabeth that was a student athlete to make it to the highest level in football for college, Division I-A football, to coach on the college level, to coach here in Elizabeth and win championships, go to other schools and turn them around. And I can't say a better candidate, homegrown, where kids come to Elizabeth on the team and say, hey, wow, look at my coach. He's from the same areas that I walk to this day, and I see him in these areas, and he's coaching here to make us better men on and off the field. And like I said, this would be a great candidate for Elizabeth Parsons. Thank you.
At this time, I'm going to call on Christina Morero.
Good evening. Before I make my statement, I'd just like to say I think it speaks volumes to the environment that's being created here at this Board of Education when we have a coach who has an outstanding record. And by the way, I don't know either one of these coaches that you mentioned here today. But when you have a coach that has a stellar record to be replaced by someone just because they're from Elizabeth or just because they are from one political background or another, speaks volumes to the culture that's been created here. But I came here tonight because last week I attended the New Jersey State Board of Ed meeting. We were unable to testify, but at that month's meeting we still sent a message. Just say no to making the PARCC test the only test requirement for graduation. New Jersey is the only state in the nation using the PARCC exam to make graduation determinations this year. The PARCC consortium is down from 26 to 6 states. None of the others is using PARCC to make diploma decisions. It is wrong to use these unproven tests for such high-stakes decision making. Changing graduation requirements for students already in high school is unfair and illegal. Federal court decisions and state regulations require advance notice of such changes for students and their families, and public review of the new rules before they can be implemented. The NJDOE has not followed the law in making these changes. This is why they are being sued by the New Jersey parents and students represented by the ACLU and the Education Law Center. PARCC has not been validated for such use. It is educational malpractice to use these new tests after a single administration to decide who graduates high school. The NJDOE has stopped giving the HESPA and the AHSA, even though the department's own regulations still say passing one of those tests is required to get a diploma. The department designated substitute assessments don't provide appropriate accommodation for English language learners and special education students. High school exit tests increase dropout and incarceration rates. They especially push low-income and students of color into the school-to-prison pipeline. There are better ways to prepare students for success after high school than standardized tests. Performance assessments that ask students to complete real tasks, improve and varied courses and extracurricular activities, instead of multiple pathways, instead of a one-size-fits-all. The New Jersey School Board Association Delegate Assembly also adopted a resolution affirming that there should be multiple pathways for students to graduate. I am asking again for this board to stand up for the children of this district and pass a resolution maintaining multiple pathways to graduation. The state board will be voting to make passing card a graduation requirement on August 3rd. It is not too late to tell them no. Thank you.
At this time, I'm going to call Sean McLean.
How you doing? My name is Sean McLean. I'm the president, the head football coach for the freshmen in the high school. When you talk about great coaches, I think of coaches like Jerry Moore, where in 1988, when we had a teacher strike, we still had to go out and practice to try to save our season so that we can go to college. That year, we had 12 kids go to Division 1A and 1AA football team. 12 seniors. 12 seniors. So when you talk about good coaches, it's not just on the football field and what their record is. It's what they do to those young men. Many of the young men that you see at the top one football level, especially the Lisbon Packers, we had about 15 to 20 coaches that played football under Coach Jerry Moore and came back to give to the community. These football players are now seniors. I've coached perhaps maybe 15 to 20 of them in the top one of football league. We nurtured them to be the type of players they are. Jahad, PJ, what about all these coaches that work with on the top one level? And this is my point. I think Jamil will be a great coach, or Coach E. All right, because these gentlemen deal with these kids at a young age. They're in the community. They're in the barbershop with these young men. Where they're not doing good in school, it's barbershop talk. Come on, young man, you need to get yourself together. You can't play football unless you get your academics together. This is what's needed. We don't have, when I work with Coach Quinn, I think he's a good coach, but there's other things more than being a good coach. It's called being a professional. We had a lot of things that we discussed, a few of the coaches that play here, now coaching here, and we discussed them, and we put them out on the table. And you guys are aware of it. So I want you to make the right decision. I want you to bring someone in here, such as Jamil or Evie, that can give so much more, that will go down to Elizabeth Pop on the football team and shake a little kid's hand and say, keep working hard, keep doing well in school, and you know what? Maybe one day you can have the privilege of winning that big deal in your house. So, when you talk about this and you talk about that, I'm here to vouch for him, not for what somebody can do for you, but what's going to be the best thing for these kids. And we're not talking about when they're doing well. We're talking about when the kids are doing bad. That's what we need here. We need to bring them in.
At this time, I'll close the public portion speaking of the meeting. I'm going to ask that we take a 10-minute recess, please.
Wait, here.
the record.
Hamid, Carvalho. Here. Gonzalez.
Here.
Nera. Here. Nina. President. Rare. Rodriguez. Here. Trujillo. Here. Tackles.
Here. As it relates to be transparent, I would like for, being the fact that everyone is here, a lot of people from the community on both sides, in regards to the coach decision that this board has taken. I would like for our chairperson of the Education Management Committee to just talk and speak about the process that we took to come to the decision that we came to at this time.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm the chair of the Education Management Committee, and traditionally here in the city of Elizabeth, the Board of Education annually has not in the past posted for the head coaching positions on an annual basis. And with the reorganization of this new Board of Education and new leadership under the leadership of our council and advice of our council, we were advised that it was state mandated that we advertise all head coaching positions on an annual basis, and that coaches would reapply for their positions each and every year. And that is a state regulation, not something that the new board or past board invented or created, but something that is state mandated. So when that process was implemented, we put out a call for coaches to apply. And when coaches applied, we got 3 highly qualified candidates. And a lot of them that you've heard about tonight, the interviews were very trying, but hard decisions had to be made. And having made those decisions and having interviewed all these candidates, we understand that all 3 candidates are very passionate about football. They care about the sport, they're professionals in the sports, and each of them are unique in their own talent, and they each are professionals who have come a very long way and accomplished a great deal in their lives, and we commend all of them for doing so. So at this time, I'd like to give them all a big round of applause for their coming forward. Because the reality is, at the end of the day, they all care for the city, they all care for the kids that they serve, and they all believe in the Elizabeth pride and the Elizabeth spirit, and so many people have spoken about tonight. After careful review and a rigorous process and arduous task of selecting a final candidate, it was not an easy decision, but a decision that we understand after evaluating the climate of our district, after evaluating the needs of our youth and our students in the community, a decision has been rendered, and we have come with the recommendation to recommend Jamil Jackson. Again, I want to commend all the candidates. I want to commend the services that the head football coach, John Quinn, has provided the district with, and the work that he has done. So please put your hands together for him as well. One of the assistant coaches who also applied for the position, Ibrahim Malty, did a phenomenal job. So I want to read before I read this resolution, I'd like to, give Mr. Jonathan Williams, our counsel, the floor so that he can talk about the regulations, talk about the statutes that exist in posting this position.
Yes, thank you, Sam. Good evening, everyone. I want to just very quickly, without laboring the point, mention that Mr. Jackson, who does not currently work for the district, needs to be an employee of the district in order to do a point-in-head football coach as The regulation 6A:90-5.15 indicates, 5.16, indicates that school districts may employ any holder of either a New Jersey teaching certificate or substitute credential pursuant to NJAC 6A:90-7 to work in the interscholastic athletic program, provided the position has been advertised. As Commissioner Muir mentioned earlier, for the first time this year we complied with state law and we posted a position for head coach, all of the head coach positions, I might add, we're following that process. Interviews, as indicated, were conducted, and the board has at this point prepared to recommend the appointment of Mr. Jackson by resolution to the employment with the district in his capacity as an assistant personnel on his substitute teaching certificate, and is prepared to recommend to the superintendent that he also be appointed as head coach. And it's my understanding that the superintendent has in turn agreed to make that recommendation to the board for adoption of the resolution. So the resolution, Madam President, should be called and seconded at this time.
Appointment of head coach.
So, resolution appointment of head football coach recommended that Jamil Jackson be appointed as head football coach effective August 15, 2016 through August 31st, 2016 at a rate of $46.20 per hour, not to exceed 50 hours for a total of $2,310. Recommended that Jamil Jackson be appointed as athletic coach in the fall interscholastic athletic program at Elizabeth High School, Monday through Sunday, varying hours, September 1st, 2016 to December 15, 2016, salary $13,555. Recommend that Jamil Jackson be appointed assistant personnel at William F. Austin College of Public Safety Academy, salary $39,890, effective December 1st.
Second. Is there a move proper second to appoint Jamil Jackson as head coach for the public schools? Any comments or questions?
Madam President?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam President. Approximately 10 years ago, I remember when I first sought elected office, this was a big controversy within the community. And I remember there being a petition being circulated at that time. I signed that petition. I supported the movement then. I will support it now. I think that it's been a long time coming, and this will help reconcile some of the actions of the previous boards within the community, especially the football community here in Elizabeth, which is very vital and very important. So, having said all that, I will be supporting this, and I ask my colleagues to support this as well.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Yes,
Yes, Mr. Rodriguez.
I just want to say welcome home, Mr. Jackson. Corral.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nera.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Battles.
Yes. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
While everyone is here for the meeting, I ask that you stay so we can continue the board meeting. It's not really pretty early tonight, so I would love for you guys to stay as we continue our board meeting. second, and we can go through the agenda. Tab 1A. Minutes from the May 31st, 2016, as well as June 16, 2016 meeting.
Accept the minutes. Second.
Is there moved properly second to accept the minutes from May 31st and June 16? Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Carvel.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Hannah.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Pat.
Yes. Tab 1 is Treasurer's report from the month ending in May 31st, 2016.
Accept the report.
Second.
Has been moved properly second to accept the Treasurer's report from May 31st, 2016. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Carvel.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Hannah.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Pat.
Yes. Tab 2A personnel report.
Second.
Is moved properly second to accept the personnel report. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Carvel.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Hannah.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez. Trujillo.
Yes.
Pat.
Yes. Tab 2, supplemental personnel report.
Move the report.
Second.
Is it moved properly second to accept the supplemental personnel report? Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Carvel.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Hannah.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Pat.
Yes. The tab 3 tuition report.
Second.
Is it moved properly second to accept the tuition report? Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Carvel.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Hannah.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Pat.
Yes. Tab 4A superintendent's report. Considerations.
Move the consideration.
Second.
Is it moved to properly second to accept the consideration? Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Carvel.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Hannah.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Abstain.
Pat.
Yes. Tab 4B superintendent's report, use of facilities.
Move the report. Second.
Is it moved properly second to accept the use of facilities report? Any comments or questions?
Madam President,
Yes, Mr. Trillium.
who's the current chair of the Properties Committee?
Vice President Lorenz,
Madam Vice President, my concern is, I just want to know if there's been a follow-up. I don't need an answer now. You can tell me later, but in reference to the, I know it's been discussed more than once about how we charge people that are using our facilities and the condition they leave our facilities in. I want to know that, that that's continuing, if there's been any progress in that area. Thank you, Madam President.
Also, if the person who made the motion and seconded it could pull it back and just rule with the recommendation to waiver of all fees, that could be possible.
Mr. Rodriguez, can you repeat that again, please?
Yes. For tab 4B, if we could amend the motion and second to include the waiver of all fees. Right now, it currently says waiver of only facility fees.
Mr. Kevin, you made a motion.
You have no one to make a motion?
I know that you
Okay, so I would like to withdraw my motion. I'd like to make a motion to move tab 4B with the waiver of all fees.
I need a second.
Second.
Is it moved from second to accept tab 4B facilities waiver of all fees? Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Carvalho.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nera.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Abstain.
Battles.
Yes. Tab 4BB, use of facilities considerations or supplemental superintendent report. Move the report.
Second.
Is it moving how second take the supplemental superintendent report for use of facilities? Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Carvalho.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nera.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Abstain.
Battles.
Yes. Tab 4C, village considerations.
Second.
Is it moving on second to set up village considerations? Any comments or questions?
Madam President,
Yes, Mr. Junior.
I believe it's Mr. Neuron of the Education Committee. I know we had also discussed the field trips at committees. I don't know if that's been addressed. There are several classes that don't get a trip. I'm sure you're aware of it. I just want to make sure that if you can follow up, that let me know if there's been any work with the administration or solutions.
Yes, Commissioner, we're still working on the way to, the right vision, face a lot of challenges in doing so. So I know the superintendent is working with her staff to come with an answer. It's still a big challenge, and we're still trying to figure that out. So hopefully we will have it.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Carvalho.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nera.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Trips, yes.
Battles.
Yes. Tab 4D, superintendent HIV report. At this time, I'm going to call Mr. Pete Foster to come up and do the report, please.
Good evening, board members, Superintendent Bugelmeyer, fellow staff, and community members. According to our board policy and New Jersey harassment, intimidation, and bullying law, the results of all our HIV investigations are to be reported to the Board of Education no later than the date of the next board meeting following completion of each investigation, and include services that were provided, trainings established, discipline that was imposed, and any other actions that were taken. You were just given, there's a summary report from the last board meeting through the end of the school year. There were a total of 25 investigations that were conducted, 3 were found for harassment, intimidation, and bullying. Of those cases, there were 26 alleged victims, 13 were male and 13 were female. 20 were regular education students, 6 were students with a disability. Of the offenders, or the alleged offenders, there were 36 students, 33 were regular education students, and 3 were non-students. The actions that were taken from those investigations, there were 7 skill development sessions, 22 counseling sessions, 1 behavioral intervention, 2 referrals for outpatient treatment, 2 change of class or school, 6 in-school detentions, 3 out-of-school suspensions, 10 administrative counseling, 1 termination, 19 parent conferences, 1 referral to an outside agency, and 11 cases are continuing to be monitored. Of the 3 founded cases for harassment, intimidation, and bullying, 1 was based on race, 1 was based on color, 1 was based on national origin, and 2 were for other reasons. The law also requires at the next regularly scheduled board meeting, after you all receive the report of all the investigations, the law requires that you issue a decision in writing to affirm, reject, or modify the superintendent's decision. So the cases that were reported to you at the last meeting, you're voting on those cases this evening. I've also included a comparative report for the last 3 school years, for investigations that were conducted throughout the year, for investigations that were found. Any questions?
Any questions? Seeing none, thank you.
Thank you.
I just need a motion to accept this report.
Motion to accept the report?
Second.
Is it moved on second to accept the HIV report? Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Carvalho.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nara.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Bathurst.
Yes. At this time, we're going to have our superintendent do her EPS report.
Good evening. Our EPS report this evening, nothing can stop you. You're all the way up to being healthy for us to be able to recall the 2016 Medi ceremony, which bid farewell to a record number of graduates, a record 1,227 graduating seniors from Johnny Dwyer Technology Academy, Thomas Edison Career Technical Academy, Admiral William F. Halsey Health and Public Safety Academy, and Thomas Jefferson Arts Academy, joining students at nationally ranked Elizabeth High School and Alexander Hamilton Preparatory Academy, received their diplomas in commencement ceremonies last June on the 22nd at Williams Field here in Elizabeth. This is the 7th commencement ceremony that has been held at Williams Field for Elizabeth Public School graduates since the former Elizabeth High School, once one of the largest high schools in the United States, was formed into 6 independently operated schools. And I would like to share with the community that effective September 1st, we will be opening our 7th high school, the Academy of Finance, as we continue to expand opportunities for our students. Next, the truancy, school avoidance, and substance abuse, their impact on chronic absenteeism, and developing effective and legally compliant programs to improve students. Elizabeth Public Schools Director of Special Services, Dr. Dorothy McMullen, along with Jessica Clean, partner at Retaller Law Group, presented truancy, school avoidance, and substance abuse, their impact on chronic absenteeism, and developing effective and legally compliant programs to improve student achievement. At 2016, every student, every day, national conference in Washington, D.C. this past June 9th. The theme of the conference was eliminating chronic absenteeism by implementing and strengthening cross-sector systems of support for all students. The presentation discussed practical methods for educators, including utilizing checklists and training staff on warning signs to identify students in need. These methods also include the development of relationships with community-based organizations and other government agencies, and offers practical, real-world advice on how to manage these relationships in situations of conflicting obligations and responsibilities. Additionally, the presentation addressed development of programs to address absenteeism with tips and procedures to obtain stakeholder support. A report is to be forthcoming to the board with regard to this presentation that was made at Washington, D.C. And next we have EPS participating in STEAM conference. 46 Elizabeth Public School students participated in the STEAM conference at Kane University on June 4th. The event was sponsored by the United Way of Greater Union County in partnership with Someone's Daughter. The conference introduced middle school and high school girls to non-traditional career paths in science, technology, engineering, and media. Over 300 young women between the ages of 13 and 17 from across the state of New Jersey participated in interactive workshops. Prepare for professionals and learn new skills in the STEAM fields. Workshops at the conference included a live surgery presentation from the Liberty Science Center, Atlantic Health System, and Mid-Atlantic Surgical Associates, learning the chemistry behind beauty products by developing your own products, and developing your artistic voice and building your brand. Elizabeth, New Jersey native, the Elizabeth High School class of 2002, and media personality Karen Civil of the Civil brand served as a keynote speaker and discussed her experience of working with Apple products, Beats by Dre, and her career in the media industry. Other sponsors and partnerships for the conference included Ernst & Young, Comcast, Property Bank, ESCLG, Services and United Way of Northern New Jersey, Hunterdon, Mercer, Middlesex, Monmouth, and Ocean counties, all contributing partners. Our School 9 students were recognized at the FISPA 2016 Youth Conference. Hispanics Inspiring Students Performance and Achievement recognized students from Jerome Dunn Academy School Number 9 who participated in the 18 weeks of HISPA/Verizon App Development Program. The recognition took place during HISPA's 2016 Youth Conference on Friday, June 3rd at the First Campus Center of Princeton University. It was co-sponsored by Human Resources Princeton University, co-host Verizon and Verizon HSO. The conference gathered 7 8th grade students from Elizabeth, Perkin, Boyd, and Summit, providing them a unique experience to visit the university campus, hear from inspirational speakers, and participate in hands-on workshops designed by professional organizations, university staff, and supporting corporations. Through the sponsorship of the Verizon Foundation, HISPA engaged students in the Specialized App Development Program. The teams of students from School 9 each presented the app they worked on in a professional and astute manner. The Verizon program has helped our students become innovative learners, and Melissa Torres, principal of Jerome Dunn Academy. Students now enjoy coming to school. The app program has provided an outlet for them to think outside the box, to be problem solvers and critical thinkers. Our School 12 was selected as an avid showcase school. Aurora School 12 was among the schools throughout the country to be selected as an avid showcase school for Avid's Fall 2016 showcase schedule. School 12, there it is on the screen, will have its door open to educators from surrounding communities on November 15, 2016 to show how they are succeeding in institutionalizing the Avid system and demonstrating a commitment to college readiness. Avid Showcase provides an opportunity for educators to see the Avid implementation, share best practices, and learn more about Avid hands-on. The showcase experience includes Avid elective and content class observations and a chance to speak with an experienced Avid site. Avid recommends the showcase to non-Avid educators who want to know more about how Avid works with teachers and students to improve school culture and performance, or are considering implementing Avid, or to current Avid educators who want to gain insight from another Avid implementation. School 12 is an Avid secondary site and is one of 52 Avid sites in New Jersey, which includes 49 secondary sites, 3 elementary sites, and 2 combination sites. Elizabeth Public School accounts for 21 of the 52 Avid sites in New Jersey, showing its commitment to preparing students for post-secondary education. And next, EPS students participate in New Jersey State Police TPC. Elizabeth Public School students from 15 different schools participated in the 2016 New Jersey State Police Top Physical Challenge at Jerome Dunn Academy School Number 9. The Top Physical Challenge was created by the New Jersey State Police to promote a healthy lifestyle. Troopers from New Jersey State Police Recruiting Unit and Academy administered the challenge, which is comprised of push-ups, sit-ups, a shuttle run, a broad jump, and pull-ups, or a flexed arm hang. The district has seen little improvement overall since the testing was done in 2014. In both 2014 and 2016, we had 15 schools represented. This year, Elizabeth schools had 70 students reach the 90th percentile. We did not, and as opposed to 60 in 2014. There were also 3 special needs students competing compared to none in 2014. 35 students leaped, ran, pushed, and pulled their way through the rigorous test protocol. The 2016 winners by school: first place, School 22, 2 females in the finals, 1 male, 1 female in the 100th percentile, 27 students reaching the 90th percentile. And in second place, School 18, with 2 males hitting the 100th percentile and in the top 10 performances. And in third place, School 12, 1 male, 1 female student above the 99th percentile. I believe Mr. Priscilla have a lot to do with that initiative.
40 that reached the 90th percentile. But I sent that down and it was a little premature, so.
Thank you for the update. And our last article is the class of 1969 returns to Abraham Lincoln School number 14. So Abraham Lincoln School number 14 hosted members of its class of 69 for a visit to the school on June 25th. The opportunity for a reunion came together as members of the class of 69 reconnected on Facebook and decided to have a reunion in Elizabeth, New Jersey. School number 14 principal Kathleen Pedalis and head custodian Heido Gomez opened the school on June 25th to host the alumni. Several visitors traveled to Elizabeth from other states, including California, Florida, and Pennsylvania. The visit and tour was a huge success as former students shared stories, laughed, and even sang the 50 United States song on the stage. The class also visited the principal's office to reminisce about the past school number 14 principals and welcomed Principal Pedalis to that exclusive group. The alumni were very proud of their former school and impressed with the condition and upkeep of the building. School number 14 will spotlight the class of 69 and their visit in the fall edition of the school newsletter, The Lincoln Log. Mr. Culver, I think that's a reference to the great work that you do in terms of maintaining all of our buildings. I believe Mr. Dallas was here earlier this evening. So this concludes the superintendent's report of Inside EPS. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I just want to take the time to welcome our new comptroller, Mr. Rajiv Maholtra, for being here. We appreciate you. Welcome to our team, and you'll be joining us every board meeting, right? I'm very excited. I saw that you also joined us at the graduation, and I thought that was really great to be there with us to see all the stuff that was happening here. So just want to say welcome to the Public Schools. Thanks. He's a graduate. We have an alumni. Oh, classmates. All right, let's work together. I just wanted to say again, welcome. You're welcome. All right, at this time, I'm going to continue with the agenda. Tab 5, authorization report. Move the report.
Second.
Is it moving proper second to accept the authorization report? Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Cordell.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nera.
Yes, and yes. Abstention on page 2.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Same.
Battles.
Yes. Tab 6, finance and accounting report.
Move the report. Second.
Is it moving proper second to accept the finance and accounting report? Any comments or questions?
I do have a question, Madam President.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
I just, the item number 1, Mr. Kennedy, actor store, I know that's the insurance,
Mr. Chairman,
sorry? Yeah, first item, number 1, 237,000 plus excess worker compensation. You just,
Yeah, sure.
Fund?
Acrisure is the broker of record for the district, and it bills for the carrier that flows through Acrisure, and then we write a check to Acrisure, and they pay the carrier for our excess workers' comp insurance.
Understood, thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Cordell.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nera.
Yes.
Nina. Rodriguez.
Yes. Abstain 10.
Trujillo.
Abstain?
Battles.
Yes. Tab 6A, supplemental finance report.
Move the report. Second.
moved, properly second to accept the supplementary finance report. Any comments? Seeing none, roll call please.
Corral.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nara.
Yes.
Nia.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trivia.
Yes.
Bathurst.
Yes. Tax seven, award contract report.
Award the contracts?
Second.
Is there moving properly second to accept the award contracts? Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Corral.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nara.
Yes.
Nia.
Yes, except pages 4 and 5.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trivia.
Abstain?
Bathurst.
Yes. Tab 8. Committee reports.
We need to do 7A. So the supplemental award contract report.
7A supplemental award contract report.
Move the report?
Second.
Is there moving properly second to accept the supplementary award contract report? Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Corral.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nara.
Yes.
Nia.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trivia.
Abstain?
Bathurst.
Yes.
Tab 8. Committee reports. Minutes from the Education Committee report on July 14, 2016 by Chairperson Stanley.
Thank you, Madam President. The Education Management Committee met on July 14, 2016. Superintendent and administrative team presented the accomplishments following the first implementation of the 2015-2020 strategic plan. This session was facilitated by senior consultants of the Panasonic Foundation. First implementation of the strategic plan focused on 6 essential elements: provide high-quality instruction, rigorous curriculum, provide expectations, closes the achievement gap, ensure equitable access to personalized learning, enhance intervention, prevention, and response programs, effective data analysis. A summary of the accomplishments of the Achievable Result Plan 2015-2016 is presented that include the following: steps to success fully defined, data systems for comprehensive continuous collecting and reporting for where students are in relation to steps to success, specific targets for increasing overall student performance and decreasing gap disparities referred to steps to success, identification, selection, and initial implementation of instructional, structural, and organizational equity strategies focused on increasing overall student performance and decreasing gaps and disparities. The strengths that informed the work that was conducted this past year included data dives that included examining both literacy and mathematics, professional learning community discussions, CFAT data, survey developed by Panasonic Foundation used to examine equity, the board approval of the 3 E's, equity, expectation, and excellence, board approval of revised core beliefs and commitments, board adoption of strategy map, board carrying out its Adopt a School initiative, which you all are aware of and are president implemented at the very beginning of this year. The outcome of having invested a year-long process together, the inclusion of central office administrators, school-based administrators, teachers, resulted in the adoption of 3 high-level strategies defined as follows. Strategy 1. Our team will further enhance professional learning with a focus on social and emotional skills to strengthen teaching practices. Strategy 2. Our team will enhance curriculum and instruction with cultural responsive strategies to strengthen academic performance of all learners. Strategy 3, our team will develop a data culture where teachers, administrators, and central office staff will be able to utilize data systems that will provide real-time, disaggregated data at the district and school level, school and classroom level. As part of the work that will accomplish, the commitment statement that defines equity at the Elite Public Schools was also adopted. This commitment statement supports our district's model of every child achieves excellence.
Thank you. At this time, we're going to have minutes from the Special Education Committee of the Board, July 20th, by our chairperson, Jose Rodriguez.
I'm sorry, Madam President, I don't have any of these reports. I don't know if I missed them. Did I miss them? Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes, my report is a lot shorter. Thank you. In preparation for the August 10th Special Education Committee meeting, the superintendent and myself, the chairperson of the committee, met to discuss the agenda. The agenda is going to include conducting a data dive process, utilizing the protocol that was shared by the Panasonic Foundation. The data dive will focus on high school outcomes and graduation rates. Thank you.
Thank you. Tab 9, summary study.
Move tab 9.
Second.
And then move on second to accept summary study and comments or questions. Seeing none, roll call please.
Carvalho.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nera.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes, please reflect my abstention on page 6 on tab 9. Thank you.
Trujillo.
Abstain.
Battles.
Yes. Tab 10, Board of Education resolution for Independence Day.
Move the resolution. Second.
Okay, Commissioner Jones, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Board of Education Resolution, Colombia's Independence Day. Whereas the Republic of Colombia is the 26th largest nation in the world and has a long tradition of constitutional government, and whereas before being known as the Republic of Colombia, the region was known as the Viceroyalty of New Granada, following occupation by Spain in 1499, whereas Simón Bolívar, facing perceived insurmountable odds of failure, led a small army against the Spanish royalist army in the attack of New Granada and defeated the Spanish forces. And whereas the defeat led to the independence of the Republic of Colombia, then renamed Gran Colombia on July 20th of 1819, and whereas the Bolívar led fight for independence for Colombia ultimately led to the independence of Venezuela and Ecuador, and whereas since claiming their independence, people of Colombian heritage here in the United States, in Colombia, and throughout the world have made many positive impacts on the advancement of our society. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Elizabeth Board of Education recognize Colombia's Independence Day and honor the contributions of Colombians in the Elizabeth Public Schools community and beyond. Be it further resolved that the resolution be spread on the official agenda of the Elizabeth Board of Education. I move this resolution.
Second.
Is it moved on the second to accept the Colombia's Independence Day resolution? Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Carvalho.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nera.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Battles.
Yes. I know there's some discussion in regards to whether or not public or members of the public can attend our committee meetings or not. I'm going to ask our attorney, John Lorenz, to address that, please.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. One of the speakers earlier tonight made the suggestion or the observation that committee meetings are open to the public, or should be open to the public. And the statutory analysis of that issue indicates that committee meetings have been recognized by statute as not constituting a meeting of the body, in this case, the school board, for purposes of the Open Public Meetings Act or for purposes of being open to members of the public. The policy behind that is that matters discussed in the committee which do not constitute a majority of the board members. In fact, you cannot have a committee meeting unless you have less than a majority of the board members on the committee or at the committee meeting. And the policy behind that is the need for confidentiality at those meetings to discuss such things as litigation, personnel, things like that in the committee. The committee in turn makes a recommendation to the full board. And of course, the full board is governed by the terms and provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act and is subject to all of the protections for transparency and open to the public.
Thank you. Tab 10A, assignment of custodian of records for the 2016-2017 school year.
Move the resolution.
Second.
As we move on to the second to the resolution, any comments or questions?
Just need to give it I'm sorry. State, Dr. Jones should not state interim, she says superintendent.
I'm sorry, Madam President, I didn't hear that.
That it should state Dr. Jennifer Cedeno, and it should also not state interim assistant superintendent.
Mrs. Kennedy, please make the resolution. Was there a second?
Yeah.
And I apologize, I'm saying for Dorothy Long to say doctor.
Move the amended resolution.
Second.
As we move on to the second to accept this resolution, any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Corral.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nera.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes, as amended.
Battles.
Tab 10B, deferred compensation plan administrator for the 2016-2017 school year.
Tab 10B.
Second.
Is it moved on to second to accept this resolution, any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Corral.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nera.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Battles.
Yes. Tab 10C, Board of Education Resolution, Public Agency Compliance Officer for the 2016-2017 school year.
Move tab 10C.
Second.
Is it moved on to second to accept the resolution, any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Corral.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nera.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Battles.
Yes. Tab 10D, Board of Education Resolution for Fire Officer.
Move resolution 10D.
Second.
Is it moved on to second to accept the resolution, any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Corral.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nera.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Battles.
Yes. Tab 10E, India's Independence Day. I'm going to ask Commissioner Carlos Torres to begin, Carlos Trujillo to begin, please.
With pleasure, Madam President. Board of Education Resolution India's Independence Day. Whereas India's Independence Day is one of the most important national holidays in India, the biggest event of the day takes place in Delhi, where the Prime Minister hoists the national flag at the Red Fort, delivers a nationally televised speech that highlights the achievements of the government, discusses current issues and future plans for progress, and pays tribute to the leaders of India's struggle for freedom. And whereas India's Independence Day is celebrated on August 15th of each year to commemorate its independence, it was celebrated by 400 million Indians in 1947, and today it is celebrated by billions of people living in India and many people living in other parts of the world, including Elizabeth, New Jersey, which is home to a population of Asian Indians. And whereas Iranian economic trade between the United States and India has spread Indian culture, philosophy, and religion throughout the nation and has influenced numerous American poets, thinkers, and writers, and whereas Indian Americans have been an integral part of American life for more than 200 years, and whereas Indian Americans have embodied the American ideals of hard work, entrepreneurship, and creativity that enriches prosperity and culture of Elizabeth, New Jersey. Now therefore be resolved, the Elizabeth Board of Education celebrates August 15, 2016 as India's Independence Day. It urges all those in the Elizabeth learning community to join in the celebration, celebrating Indian independence. Be it further resolved that this resolution be spread on the official agenda of the Elizabeth Board of Education. I move this resolution.
Second.
And then we'll move on to seven to accept, resolution 10, Independence Day. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Carrara.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nero.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Korea.
Yes.
Bath.
Yes. At this time, I'm going to have Mr. Kennedy proceed for tab 10F up until the next.
Thank you.
10X.
Resolution 10F, approving the contract between the Board of Ed and Waitress Associates, Inc.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Moving on to second to accept the resolution. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Carrara.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nero.
Yes.
Nina. Oh, sorry. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Korea.
Abstain?
Bath.
Yes.
10G, approving current contract between the Board of Ed and California Industries.
Move the resolution.
Second.
And then moving on to second to accept this resolution. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Carvalho.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nero.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Korea.
Abstain?
Bath.
Yes. Tab 10H. Sorry.
Second.
I'm sorry. It's automatic.
Absolutely. Resolution approving the contract between the Board of Ed and Central Poly.
Second.
This is moving on to second to accept the resolution. Any questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Carvalho.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nero.
Yes.
Rodriguez. Trujillo.
Abstain?
Bath.
Yes.
10I, approving contract with the Board of Ed and Clean All category.
Move the resolution.
Is it moving on to second to accept the resolution? Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Carvalho.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nero.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Abstain?
Bath.
Yes.
10J, approving the contract between the Board of Ed and H. Schreier.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Is it moving on to second to accept this resolution? Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Carvalho.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nero.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Abstain?
Bath.
Yes.
10K, approving form of contract between the Board of Ed and Keyport Army and Navy.
Move 10K.
Second. Is it moving on to second to accept the resolution? Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Carvalho.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nero.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Abstain?
Bath.
Yes.
10L, approving contract between the Board of Ed and Landover Cooling Tower Services, Inc.
Move 10L.
Second.
Is it moving on to second to accept the resolution? Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Carvalho.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Nara.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Bathurst.
Yes.
And then approving the form of contract between the Board of Ed and Maximum Quality Foods.
Move 10M.
Second.
Is it moved by second to accept the resolution? Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Corral.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nara.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Abstain?
Bathurst.
Yes.
And then approving the form of contract between the Board of Ed and RP Bakery.
Move 10N.
Second. Is it moved by second to?
Is it moved by second to accept the resolution? Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Corral.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nara.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez. Trujillo.
Abstain?
Bathurst.
Yes.
And form of contract between the Board of Ed and Excel Plastics.
Move 10O.
Second.
Is it moved by second to accept the resolution? Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Corral.
Yes.
Gonzalez. Nara.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Abstain?
Bathurst.
Yes. Ted?
And P resolution for Educational Services Commission Coordinated Transportation Services 16-7.
Move 10P.
Second.
Is it moved by second to accept the resolution? Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Corral.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nara.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Abstain?
Bathurst.
Yes.
There is a second reading of some new and revised bylaws, policies, and regulations, and exhibits. Policy 3161, emergency purchases and contracts. Regulation 3161R, emergency purchases and contracts. Policy 3570, district records and reports. Policy 4112.8/431.2.8, nepotism. Policy 5120, assessment of individual needs. Policy 5141.22, medical marijuana. Exhibit 5141.22X, medical marijuana. Bylaw 9250, expenses and reimbursements, and a resolution for adoption.
Need a motion? Motion to move. Second.
Excuse me. I just want to pull the nepotism policy into prior session, please. So we can go back and so we can just pull that into prior session.
Motion to table?
Yeah, motion to table, excuse me.
Second.
So we're going to go on the motion to table. Roll call, please.
Corral.
Motion to table the nepotism only. Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nara.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez. Trujillo.
Yes.
Bathurst.
Mr. Kennedy, that's to table to bring back part of it.
I have to remove it off the table, I'm sorry. I have to remove it from the entire packet for tonight to be discussed in a committee. Motion to table to the next board meeting.
So we're sticking with the same motion to table?
The motion before was to table until after prior session, but I need to go and discuss it outside of here, so I'm asking that you use this motion to table to the next board meeting. I apologize.
Second.
So,
Is it moved by?
I'm sorry, point of order, I was lost in order.
I made a motion to table it until after private session.
And we voted on that.
Yeah, but I have to remove that off of the table and ask to be further removed to the next meeting. I was just about to make it convenient.
So we're tabling all to.
No, just the next to the next. So.
It's a motion to move it off the agenda? Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
You want to pull it off the agenda?
Yes.
So I make a motion to pull the nepotism policy off the agenda.
Second. Is it moving proper second to remove the nepotism policy off the agenda? Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Carvel.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nara.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trivia.
Yes.
Battles.
Yes. Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to move 10T as amended.
I need a second.
Second.
Is it moving proper second to accept tab 10T as amended? Any comments or questions?
I'm sorry, Madam President, what is the amendment? I believe this is the second.
No, we took the nepotism out.
10T, is that what you said?
Yeah. 10T. Board of Education, you have?
Yeah, I have it. It's a list of all our policies.
Yes. If you notice, the fourth one down is nepotism, so we cannot remove it, just add
You want to remove the whole 10T?
No, just nepotism.
He asked, that's not what I heard him say. I heard him say to 10T.
You moved it as amended.
Any other questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Carvel.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nara.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trivia.
Yes.
Battles.
Yes. Tab 10S.
And that's recognition of taxes.
Move 10S.
Second.
Is it moving proper second to accept this resolution? Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Carvel.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nara.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trivia.
Abstain.
Battles.
Yes.
Ten U is the resolution for amended schedule of board meetings.
Tab 10U.
Second. Is it moving proper second to accept the resolution for the minutes of the board meetings? Any comments or questions?
Madam President, we're moving up the meeting as it is.
The meeting was scheduled for August 4th and we're moving to August 11th. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Carvel.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nara.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trivia.
Yes.
Battles.
Yes.
10B is a resolution approving the collective bargaining negotiation agreements pursuant to the voting of the document says.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Is it moving proper second to move the resolution? Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Carvel.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nara.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trujillo.
No?
Battles. Resolution to amend the contract with Morris Environmental Team.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Is it moving proper second to accept the resolution? Any comments or questions?
Madam President? It's, I'm confused with the amount here. Amount of such contract by $24,000 for a total not to exceed 128, is there a reason to expect that, or foreseeable reason why it would exceed the initial 24.5?
Yeah.
Minimum?
At this time, when I actually, Mr. Trilio, and I asked Mr. Colo to come up and just address this issue. As well as the issue.
Just in order to expedite the testing and find out the results as soon as possible, we went on with a initial survey based on what we knew about the protocol for sampling. Now, the new protocol for sampling requires more samples. Other areas we didn't consider, or more in a classroom, for example, instead of one sink per classroom, but in pre-K, you have sink, a boiler, and a bathroom sink, so they became 3. So as we did the first week of testing, which is about 50%, we realized that we were going to run out of money to complete the testing as per the new program. So in order not to stop the testing and have to wait for new approval on August 15, we are asking the board to allow additional funding authorization, just in case we run into more samples than we can afford on the original contract. So in order not to stop the project and have the results prior to the beginning of the school year, we are recommending that we increase the amount not to exceed. If we don't do the testing, we don't have to pay the additional amount. We only have to pay for what we do. Any questions?
I'd like to know the scheduling of this testing and where we are.
Where we are, we started on the 13th of July to do the testing. We are probably about 60% done. We should be completed by Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. All the schools. The results of the testing themselves might start coming in by Thursday. This is 14 days, 14 work days after the first sample was taken. So we start at the 13th, we should probably start having the first results by the end of next week.
And this is all being done even at the schools where it's currently staffing children?
Well, yes, what happens is that our plumber go in the morning to the school that's scheduled, make sure everything is running. Then they go after everybody leaves and flushes all the intended faucets. And the next morning, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, for those schools that have programs, they start testing. So they are out of it before the students or staff arrives. Those schools that don't have testing, they continue maybe one crew stay at 7:30 and 3 those schools that have no programs, therefore no water is wrong before the testing.
Did the new standard speak to remediation, mandated remediation, specific remediation, or is that left up to the district to handle and just retest and meet the standard?
It's left to the district.
So all costs will be incurred in the district, whatever it is. Mr. Williams, we had discussed this at a previous meeting in reference to the governor and the money. I believe those monies are still not available.
No, actually, that's one of the things I was going to add before. In the interim, in that last meeting, we talked about it, and the work that's being done with the Department of Education, State Department of Education, did adopt a new regulation in part, which is what necessitated this change order to the contract in part. But in addition to that, the regulation contemplates and talks about reimbursement for testing that was commenced after a certain date. The can comply with. And
What date is that? You know, probably.
7/13, so we are right.
We're compliant to it. What was mandated by the state?
They will reimburse for testing which is done after 7/13. They will not reimburse for testing done before that. So our testing and the contract that we awarded, I have every expectation that we will qualify for reimbursement. And there's a process that we have to follow. We will follow it and make application. Again, I'm still quite a skeptic about whether or not the money will ever be appropriated or materialized. But the regulation that they got provides for a process, and we will follow it.
Understood.
I think the most important thing that we've heard tonight is that we're going to get it done this month, and we're going to be able to take remedial action on any of the sources of water for our students before they return to school. Mr. Carter has assured me that I will start that remedial action as soon as the results start to come in.
Thank you. I have a question to the superintendent. Have there been any precautions taken since? Are we doing a bottled water at all? Any bottled water available?
At this present time, we do not see the need to have to provide bottled water based on the testing that has been taking place prior to initiating this process. So in terms of the tests that were done through Mr. Carter's division, it did not come for bottled water.
So we're going back to the 2013, Mr. Cotto? That's based on the file of 2013?
2013, and also subsequent spot testing that Mr. Cotto's division has done, which has yielded the same results that is not necessary.
As well as regular maintenance of changing the filters since 2013, which is a key factor of why we're able to keep going with this while those new testing takes place.
I'm confident that we're going to be fine. I really do. I think you've always done a stellar job. You have a lot of brand new buildings. Does the slope go beyond the water fountains? There are other that issues.
Yeah.
We have some older buildings that do concern me. Not so much just the water, but other sources of lead.
Food preparation we're doing, and this thing that is in a classroom, and this thing that is in a older space like teachers' lounges, nurses' office, all of that, our places like that. So it's a lot more than what we did in Turkey.
Yes. Okay.
And the new regulations require this in only after 6 years.
So when will we have to test after this to be compliant? Does it tell you? Follow up? Does it mandate that we continue to do this regularly? Before, in 2013, we tested without having to test. We tested to be proactive. Does the new regulation now speak to the mandate? There has to be every 6 years. So, okay.
Any other questions?
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Thank you, Madam President.
Roll call, please.
Carval.
Yes.
Salas.
Yes.
Nera.
Yes.
Luna.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Baptist.
Yes.
And next is the resolution for revoking the doctrine of necessity, which I'll read. Whereas the School Ethics Act, 8 NJSA 1880-12-21, was enacted by the New Jersey State Legislature to ensure and preserve public confidence in school board members and school administrators, and to provide specific ethical standards to guide their conduct. And whereas the School Ethics Commission has provided guidance in Public Advisory Opinion A03-98 regarding how a board should invoke the doctrine of necessity when a form of board of education has conflicts of interest on a matter required to be voted on. And whereas the minutes force that when it is necessary for a board to invoke the doctrine of necessity, the board should state publicly that it is doing so, The reason that such action is necessary is the specific nature of the conflict of interest. And whereas in keeping with the legislative purpose as set forth in NJSA 1812-22A, the School Ethics Commission views public disclosure of conflict of interest to be paramount and is necessary to invoke the doctrine of necessity. Now therefore, be resolved that the School District Board of Education hereby invokes the doctrine of necessity for the reason of conducting the superintendency evaluation, and that it must do so because of the conflicts of interest of 6 of 9 board members reflected on the annex schedule of conflicts due to familial and business interests. Be it further resolved that the Elizabeth School District Board of Education meeting the requirement to read the resolution and regularly scheduled July 21, 2016 public meeting, and will post it where it posts public notices for 30 days, and will provide the School Ethics Commission with a copy of the resolution as required by the decision of the School Ethics Commission. Need someone to move it?
Tag 10X.
Is there moved by the second to accept the resolution? Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Carlisle. Yes. Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nera.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Backus.
Yes. The president requests a motion to go into private.
One more. We have the first reading of following new revised policies and revised regulations. Regulation 1221, Special Education Parent Advisory Committees. Policy 4131/4131.1, 4231, 4231.1. Staff development, in-service education, visitations, and conferences. Policy 4211, recruitment, selection, and hiring. Policy 5114, suspension and expulsion. Policy 6171.6, independent education evaluation. All of these revised policies and revised regulations are available for review in the Office of the School Business Administrator or its secretary.
The president requests a motion to go into private session to consider matters presented under the Open Public Meetings Act, specifically the discussion of legal matters, specifically settlements NO, MV, CR, HR, CV, and KB, and workers' compensation matters, specifically SG, LC, GQ, GG, GH, and ML. The board will convene in public session to take formal action.
We need to make a motion.
Second.
The move from the second to move into the private session. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Carlisle.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nera.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Backus.
Yes.
This will be over by now.
Motion to go back into public. I need a motion to go back into public.
Second.
Is it moved by the second to go to public? Any comments or questions? Roll call please.
Carlisle.
Here.
Gonzalez.
Present.
Nera.
Yes.
Nina.
President.
Rodriguez.
Here.
Backus.
Yes. Ms. Kennedy, please take it to the agenda, please.
Thank you. First item is a resolution for settlement of workers' comp SG.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Is it moved by the second to accept the resolution of compensation for person SG? Any comments, questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Carlisle.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nera.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Baptist.
Yes.
And a resolution for settlement of workers' comp GK.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Is it moved by Mr. Simmons to accept the resolution for workers' compensation for person GK? Any comments, questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Corvallis.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nero.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Baptist.
Yes.
And that concludes GK.
Any old business? Any new business?
Yes, Madam.
Yes.
Just to remind the community that there's an Italian community festival down in the British Town area, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Tonight's community event. I believe some of our students are being honored on Saturday night for the event as well. And, something to have from the event.
Anything? Stating the motion to adjourn.
Second. Motion adjourned.
Second.
Is it moved by Mr. to adjourn? Any comments, questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Corvallis.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nero.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Baptist.
Yes. Meeting adjourned.
Good.